We're going to be talking about branding and why it's so important to have a big brand for your industry, for your community. I mean, this is what brings you to the market. It allows everybody to know who you are, grow your customer base, and capture and captivate all the attention from everybody looking for services. So I kind of have a triangle of three main parts of the branding schedule. And the first one is your company name. So some people have, like Zach, I know you guys have been around for a bit. Joey, you're just getting started. So some of this might pertain, might not. But if you haven't created a name yet or looking to change your name, one of the main ways is through the Secretary of State site. So it's common for people to change their name over time. You can shorten it, you can change it completely, rebrand. That's all okay. Just know the longer you wait, you're going to be spending more money, right? So the Secretary of State, it's free. You can go on, you can search all organizations and see what is available, what's not, because you never want to have somebody that's close to your name where it could be confusing. Like, okay, with ours, it's Elkhorn Lawn Care. Is there an Elkhorn Landscaping? Is there Elkhorn Tree Service? I mean, it's still a good thing to look at so you know how to market and brand. So the Secretary of State site is very important. And then how to create a perfect name. For us early on, I went through, 10 different names of what would be good, like elite or exclusive, all that stuff, thinking of powerful names. But for me early on, I realized that location was the best way. This is like when Google was just starting out, right? So for location, I knew that Elkhorn, Nebraska was kind of the suburb of Omaha, and that's where all the growth was going. So there was more of a geographic play. And I knew that all of the new homes are going there, the bigger homes. And that's where the only way that Omaha was expanding was west. I mean, there is still some north and some south, but I just wanted something that it is, if somebody searches Elkhorn Landscaping or what services provide snow removal in Elkhorn, we're going to pop up first on Google just because of the name, because we had that one word in it. So geographic and locational are huge for that. What I see a lot of people doing now is like having their initials. And yeah, it's good, but it's very common when you don't get creative and you want to try to just stand out because it's confusing with other companies. Like if I was to do JDM landscapes or construction or whatever it is, I'm sure there's 10 other companies in town that also start with a J, and I don't know what the other two letters were because all you see is that J. You might have a different logo or brand, but it's confusing to the customer. And it also doesn't sound very professional in the sense of something that's powerful like JamesManske Enterprises or, exclusive professional services. So you have to kind of think that in the back of your mind if you ever do rebrand or start your own brand from scratch. Another thing too is what follows it. So if it's your last name, I love last names and first names. I mean, Ryan Tree Care, Ryan Lawn Care in Kansas City, they're a massive company. And he just went with his first name. So it works, but I haven't found anybody that has three letters or initials doing over $10 million a year, right? So the name has to be something bold. It has to be something that stands out, grabs attention. What follows the name, if it's professional services, Inc., enterprises, that's also going to pop up on Google as you have people search for you. So if it just says professional services, but then in all your content, it says what you do, it's going to pop up. That's why I love geographic so much, because no matter where they're searching in their area, you're going to be popping up first without the SEO, without all the added Google, Facebook ads, all that stuff. So grab attention. And just remember though, you can still change your name down the road. It's not the end of the world. I'll probably rebrand and reincorporate sometime in the next 5 years or so, but it's going to be expensive. You have to change all of your decals. You have to change your business cards, your logos, everything. So it is possible. I know a couple of companies that have done that before too. It's just going to be more expensive. So if you can figure it out first, build a big brand first. That's the biggest thing. The second part of the triangle is the design and logo. So this has to be simple. It has to be creative, professional. It's something that you want to seek out professional assistance. Don't just go to the Fast Signs or the quick Fiverr account online. Like it has to be somebody that has some design work background. Graphic designers are really good at this too, but do not use clip art or online images in a logo. I mean, you can play around those to come up with something, but to create an overall brand image, you have to go with something professional. And you can tell when somebody uses those clip arts or those, online search pictures and just puts them in and then throws it in the name. So spend the money on this first, because you will waste so much money. I think I wasted 4 different companies. I don't remember the dollar amount, but I went through 4 different companies early on of like, here's our logo. It's awesome. A year later, this is crap. Here's the next best logo. This is crap. Next best logo. This is crap. And just kept going until I just paid somebody, I think it was $400 or $500 back then, to just create a brand new logo that was like, okay, this is sexy. It's professional. We can put this everywhere without being massive on the side of trucks and equipment. And it was something that I wish I would have done early on, is just pay for somebody to go through that and create it proper the first time. Another thing with the logo and brand, or the logo and design, is just stick to as few of colors as possible. I mean, one color is amazing. A couple colors is perfect. Never go into like multi-colored everything, because it gets busy. And you are also paying per color when you print on shirts, hats, everything. So if you can keep it just black, white, or add one other color to it too, I mean, that's huge. So it stands out. It's not confusing to the customer. It's not confusing to the marketplace, but it's going to follow you everywhere. So you want to make sure that it's simple and you can transfer it from different parts of your business, and it's easy to adapt and change and just use throughout day-to-day life. So few colors, not busy, have something. It could be a big brand with a small logo. And I know that there's a couple in town too that have done this too. They used to have long names and big words and everything, and then they just shrunk down to like, here's a picture of a 4-season tree with their name or their initials on it. And that way they don't have to wrap a whole truck with it. They can just put it on the side. Everybody knows who it is. It's simple. You can pass it along on everything. Saves a ton of time and confusion. And the third part of the the branding triangle is the marketing material. So this is where you can utilize your name, your logo, image style in everything you do. So this is going to be way more than I'm going to cover today, but just to start off, like your clothing. Yeah, shirts are good for all your crew and everybody working outside. Does it stand out? Does it look professional and nice? Do you put your foremen and managers in a polo? Do you give them zip up jackets? I mean, that's all part of it. And if you have a simple logo, simple brand that's just easily read, that can mean business for a lot of ways. I mean, I've seen companies where you can't even read what their name is on their shirts because it's just so much stuff on the back of the shirt. Any time now, you don't need, your website on the back. You don't need your phone number anymore. People are constantly just, hey, Siri, who is this company? It pulls up on all their information. They're not going to sit there, stop, write down all your phone number and your email address, then go to your website. So they want to just know who you are, make it as big as possible on all your clothing and make it professional. And if you have women in the office, I mean, cardigans with your logo on it, hats, etc., put it as many places as possible. The vehicle wrap is another thing we talked about. The big thing that I do not like with vehicle displays are magnets. I mean, they look very tacky. If you're a homeowner, would you rather have somebody coming over with a decal on the side door or a magnet that they can just take off and put a different company on the next weekend when they're doing their construction services? So it kind of breaks you away from the weekend warrior to a professional. And it doesn't have to be a full vehicle wrap that's going to cost you $10,000. It can be something simple on the passenger and driver door and maybe the back tailgate of just who you are and what you're doing. I mean, that is something that if you start soon and do that right away, that's what people see when they're driving home and you're at all their neighbor's house. I mean, we've gotten so much business from just, hey, I see you at your neighbor's house and we called. I see you're doing this person's business and it looks amazing, and that's why they call. So they're not writing down the website, they're not writing down the phone number. It's good to have that, but it's still, what's the brand name? What's the image? Where can they search online? And that's what the biggest thing with vehicles are. I mean, we get tons of referrals just from our vehicles. So make sure you spend extra money on that for sure, just to get that properly representing your company. If you're still mailing out, some of us are still doing that. I am, because we just took over a company this year that they were completely paper company, no email addresses for their 1,500 customers. So we have been mailing out a lot of stuff to them. So what's on your envelope? What's on your letterhead? With a lot of companies, you can do front and back. So the back could change, and you can also put your promos on the back if you're mailing stuff out to customers, and the front, and you can have different promo codes. You can put a QR code on the back. So find somebody that can take that information from your brand and also put it on there for your envelope and print material. For the same reason, you're going to want to transfer that to, of course, all your signature lines, cohesiveness between everything. So when they receive a letter, when they receive your email, it says who you are, your brand is big on the bottom. You can get crazy with some of them now with videos in your signature line and different links. I'd recommend putting all of those in there too for your social, because people are going to randomly click, or they go back to your email. Hey, what was his cell phone number? What was his Facebook account? I want to see his company. So they're going to click on your signature line probably more than your website. So make sure you have all that information and even promos at the bottom. So if you're running something new, what's your promo for this quarter? Put that at the bottom of your signature line. It might take a little bit extra time, but people are going to click that, right? So you're going to get one extra holiday light customer. You're going to get 10 more fertilizing customers just from, hey, here's our promo, 6-step free for all new customers for fertilizing. Bam, they already saw it. You're good. So the letterheads, the envelopes, the email signature lines, and then the biggest for me is business cards. I mean, the business card is your first impression with every client, even if it's not even a client. If it's somebody you met at dinner or a friend or family friend, you're going to want to pass those out. So it has to be something that's not just a card stock, plain Jane, I can't even remember the name, Vistaprint type of business card. Find something online that you really like. And for me, it took me about 4 months to find and nail down exactly what I wanted on my business cards for all my staff. And it was, I just typed in on Google, unique, black, very sleek business cards. And there was thousands, right? So mine's very thick. It's matte. It feels great to the touch. It's raised. It stands out. So I get hundreds of compliments on that all the time of like, this is the best business card. What do you even do? And then they flip it over and they see everything. So the business card is the best way because people hold on to those, they keep them. I also know a company in Chicago that they do hardscaping, and there's this laser engraved on their business card. So it's a metal business card. It costs them like $4 a business card, but they bring in approximately $200,000 to $500,000 a job from each project they do. So they're justifying like, hey, this is our first impression. We want to be the best. We don't want to go with something flimsy and like paper. So they're going the complete uniqueness and brand method of just let's spend as much as we can on a business card and get some more people that just think this is sleek, this is sexy, and I want to do business with them because nobody else has put in as much time or effort or money in their marketing material as this company has. So there's different ways to do it. Just do not go towards the cheapest. It's not going to work, and people are just going to throw that away. The last of the marketing is promotional swag, giveaways. So what do your customers want? What do they use? So we have a lot of customers that use tumblers. We give away Bubba tumblers. We give away Igloo backpack coolers. So they're not cheap things, but our brand is logoed right on the center of them. So when they go out, because that's something they want to go out with, they're not going to want to take out a Walmart brand tumbler or pen or backpack cooler to an event. They want something that looks good. Like, what would you use if you're going out to an event, right? So think about those as well and what your client's going to use. And that's going to help you with either promotional stuff with new customers. You're going to enter into a drawing, or every new customer that signs up and prepays is going to get this. And that is a big way too to build your brand, your business. And a lot of people are going to pass that on. And people are going to see that too of, hey, where did you get that? Like, what company gave you a $90 backpack cooler? And we're right there on the center. So they see all that stuff. Other people see it. Their friends and family see it. We've gotten business from that. So keep that in mind too. There's a couple more in the marketing portion. I mean, social is huge and websites are huge, but we're going to go through those in a different workshop because that's going to be an entire topic of talk just on how to properly do your website and social media. So there's plenty of more to also go through on branding as well. But these are the main 3 pillars. So company name, design logo, and marketing materials. So to build a massive company, I mean, you first need to establish a strong brand. We all know that, because without that, you're obscure. People don't know who you are. They don't remember where you're from. They don't remember your name if it's not a strong brand, if it's not an image that sticks in their mind. So that is the biggest thing with branding, to be unique, to claim the marketplace, and to just build on that customer base that recognizes you for that brand image. So when they see you another time, hey, I remember that logo. I remember that business card. I remember your vehicle's wrapped in a very unique way. So all of those play together to build your business, to build your brand, and to build your customer base. So that is the biggest thing with branding. I mean, right now we are also offering those services too. So if you need help with, website creation, branded logos, graphic design work, just reach out. We'll do a one-on-one on that and see how we can assist you further. But with that being said, you're also going to receive the workbook, kind of going over everything we talked about. You can incorporate building your own brand with your organization. And that is what I have for you guys today. So